So, how did it feel to tag your last 30 days of expenses as essential, discretionary, or luxurious? A little surprising? A bit uncomfortable? Maybe even empowering? That's the beauty of awareness. Because once you know where your money is actually going, you gain back the control you didn't even realize you had lost. In the last video, we introduced the EDL framework, where we categorized expenses into 3 buckets: essentials, discretionary, and luxurious. But understanding theory is one thing. Applying it to your life, that's where the magic happens. Let's now build on that awareness and make it personal. Now that you've tagged your last month's expenses using the EDL model, I want you to do something very simple but extremely powerful. Calculate what percentage of your total expenses went into each of these 3 categories. Take your essential spending and divide it by your total expenses for the month. Do the same for discretionary and luxurious. Multiply each by 100 and you'll get your percentages. Why does this matter? Because percentages don't lie. They show you your spending personality in numbers. For example, if your essential spending is around 50 to 60%, your discretionary is 25%, and luxurious is 15%. That's a reasonably balanced profile for a middle-class urban household in India. But what if your luxurious category is 35% or more? What if you're spending 40% of your earnings on things that don't add long-term value while struggling to build a financial cushion? That's not just bad math. That's a lifestyle headed toward financial stress. Now let me clarify something important here. This is not about guilt. This is not about shaming your choices. It's about alignment. If you're spending a lot in the luxurious category and still living a stress-free financial life with growing net worth and a clear financial vision, you're probably fine. But if your high discretionary or luxurious spending is slowing your progress toward financial freedom, then it's time to reflect. Now I want you to do the next exercise. Decide what you want your ideal EDL allocation to be. Yes, you decide. I'm not giving you a prescription. This is not a diet plan. This is about values-based personalization. You already know your values. You've discovered your financial vision. You've clarified what freedom looks like in your life. Now ask yourself, what kind of spending pattern will help me stay aligned with this path? Maybe your new target is 60%, essential 30%, discretionary percent, luxurious. Or for someone who's already hit a major net worth milestone, it might be 50% essential, discretionary percent, luxurious. There's no universal ideal, but there is a personal ideal, and it has to feel right to you. Now let's compare this EDL framework to the popular 50-30-20 budgeting rule that many people follow. That rule says 50% of your income should go toward needs, what we call essentials, 30% toward wants, which overlaps with discretionary and some luxurious, 20% towards savings and debt repayment. It's a helpful guide, but honestly, it's a little too simplified for the real world. EDL gives you more depth. It lets you fine-tune your habits and become the boss of your money. It also accounts for context. Let's say you're living in Mumbai and paying Rs 40,000 rent. That's essential, right? But if you're in a Rs 70,000 apartment with a sea view that's more about prestige than practicality, that's crossing into the luxurious zone. Or take a family vacation. For some, it's an essential mental health break, especially after burnout. For others, it's a luxury escape they're financing on a credit card. This is why we say EDL is situational and personal. What's essential for one person may be luxurious for another. So when you set your ideal percentages, don't copy-paste. Don't ask, what's normal? Ask, what's right for me? This becomes your EDL target plan. Think of it as your personalized benchmark. Every month going forward, when you track your expenses, you can see whether you're living in alignment or drifting away. Now here's a small secret. Over time, this EDL awareness builds incredible discipline. without feeling like discipline. Because when your spending reflects your values, when every rupee is going toward the life you want, you stop feeling deprived. You feel deliberate. You feel powerful. And that, my friend, is how spending becomes a tool for freedom, not a source of regret. Let's do a quick recap of your action items for this video. Calculate your current EDL percentages using the past 30 days' expenses. Reflect on how those numbers align or misalign with your values and vision. Decide your personalized EDL allocation going forward. Treat this as your expense compass, not for restriction, but for redirection. And remember, this isn't a one-time exercise. We'll come back to your EDL profile every few months as your life changes, income changes, and priorities shift. But the more aligned you stay with your values, the fewer course corrections you'll need. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about what's coming next. You've now built awareness around your spending. You've seen your patterns. You've created your ideal profile. But sometimes, despite the best planning, our emotions hijack the steering wheel. In the next video, we'll dive into the psychology of emotional spending. Those subtle traps that drain your bank account and leave you feeling empty. And most importantly, I'll show you how to break free from those triggers and make spending a conscious, confident act. So go do your EDL reflections, and I'll see you in the next video.